What's up? What's up? What's up? It's that time of the morning. It's that time of the morning. Wanting something is just not enough. It's not enough to freaking do it. That's for sure. It's not. What the hell do I mean by wanting something is not enough, huh? You gotta hunger for it, and the motivation has to be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will be there. That's for sure. What's going on? It's morning coffee with OTWP. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was just thinking about, I've been reading this book, and really wanting something is really not enough. It's not. You gotta like hunger for it, and you gotta like really, really want it to overcome the obstacles. Grab your coffee. A lot of people are just not motivated. They think everything's gonna be handed to them. Maybe it's a lack of energy, a lack of interest. I don't know. I don't know. I know that like there's a lot of things to like self motivate yourself. Like that's really, really important. Good morning, copycat, Nunya. You know, I I've been reading this wonderful book about like really getting motivated yourself instead of always like pushing it off on other people. Well, I can't do this because of this. I can't do it because of the government. I can't do it because of my wife or my husband, my relationship, my economic stance. And really, it's a lack of energy or self motivation. Grab your coffee. I don't know. you know, it takes a lot to actually get where you want to go. That's for sure. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning, copycat. What's up, Jake? What's going on, people? I think the big thing for me has been incorporating more exercise into my daily routine. That's been huge, and that takes a lot of motivation. Yesterday, I just thought I was going to kill myself. I really did. I've never done those crunches up on that machine. Oh my God, since I think I was in my 30s. So we're talking like eons ago, right? I started out with four. I did it. I started out with eight. I videotaped it. I ended up with over 24 of them. My goal is to be able to do 100 without stopping. So, needless to say, I have a morning meeting that they popped up on us today. And so, after the morning meeting, I'm headed to the gym. If I can do 24, 28 in one day, surely I can keep adding 10 or 15 or 20 a day. But it takes motivation and direction to be able to do that shit. You can't just say, well, maybe it could happen to me. Maybe. No, you have to like get out there and put your boots on the ground and do it. And it doesn't matter if it's prepping, it doesn't matter what it is in life. It doesn't matter if it's your career. Like right now I'm reading this another document, and like reading and educating yourself is like huge. No, no. And like you got to keep going. You got to keep going. I think my big huge thing is that what changes can we make in our daily routine to be motivated to get to where we want to go? And we can boohoo and bullshit and whine about it, but making the decisions in your life to go forward is most probably one of the most important things. We create our own destiny with the momentum of movement. Think about what I just said. We create our own destiny with the momentum of movement. Being able to shake, rattle, and roll. We can smash the thumbs, you lazy ass preppers. I swear you guys are lazier every day. But I think a real true decision in your life, it leads to achievement because it involves commitment to the action that you want. And being able to be flexible is like really important as well, because if the outcome, who are you? You're not going to come in here and spam my chat. Oh my God. Stop spamming my chat. Goodbye. These people. Go spam someone else's chat, retard. Oh, did I say retard? I didn't mean that. What an idiot. But if the outcome of your decisions isn't what you want, you have to learn from that decision and go forward and make a better decision on, be it if it's your life, if it's your job, if it's your relationship, whatever it is. Me, it's my exercise routine. And stepping up into this new career, I have my second interview. They emailed me back. They did select me to go forward. And I was a little worried about it, but I think the thing is that honestly, you can make excuses all day and all night why you cannot do something. It's so easy, I mean, to make excuses. And everyone has dreams and ambitions. But you know what the sad thing is that few people really take the time to turn the dreams into reality. And that's a big, huge obstacle that can hold you back in the habit of making excuses instead of making a way. And I think that's like really, really important. We have to be clear about what our decisions are. And does our decision really have clarity? And does it make you feel empowered? Does it like relieve you from some of the anxiety, stress that you've had? I'm reading a wonderful, wonderful book, and it's really about violence and the pathway of violence. Yeah, yeah, it is copycat. But you know what? The good thing is that she doesn't let that get her down. She just keeps going. And I think a lot of people um, can't understand how important it is in prepping to work out, how important it is to do Zumba, how important it is to get up out of this recliner that I'm sitting in right now. And if you don't make that decision to do it, no one can hold your hand to do it, be it if it's your walking, whatever it is, copycat, right? I mean, there's decisions that we have to make in our lives to change things. And we got to decide how those situations will help us today and affect our present reality and our future. And I think that this job that I have, and it's wonderful because we're trying to get the people that are going back out into society to actually do and take the steps. And honestly, probably every single one of us needs to do and take the steps. We have to look at the current situation we're in, and is there things that we really don't like about it, and how do we change that? Or do we just sit and say, oh, well, maybe someday it'll change? I mean, get a grip on reality. It's not going to change unless we change it ourselves. And that's the truth. That's what it brings me to this book that I'm reading. That's really, really interesting. And I'm going to read an insert out of it. It's called, and this really has a lot to do with prepping. It's called The Pathways to Peace. And it's 40 steps to a less violent America. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been a victim of crime before. I've been a victim of more than one crime. Was it bad decisions I made? Yeah. Was it not being prepared for something that could happen in my own home? Yeah. Um, going way back into my prepping journey when I first really decided that the world that I thought we lived in and the world we live in is totally two different things. That's when I realized that we have to make the steps and do steps to protect ourselves and to protect our families right in our own freaking home. And many people think that, oh, well, I'm inside my locked door of my house, I'm safe. And we hear about it more and more and more, um, about what's really happening, like, home invasions, people getting carjacked. And the America that I grew up in, I really never thought it was that way. I never really thought it was that way. We also get bombarded every single day by media, accounts of random, senseless, violent acts. And I'm sure if you're like me, you sit back and you go, wow, what kind of America do we live in? And will it ever change? Is it going to be any different, or is it going to be the same thing that's occurred time over time? And then I think after those feelings happen, that it's almost like hopelessness. We kind of step back and we feel guilty about it. We get angry about it. We get sad. We have anxiety, guilt, um, about all the things that are happening in this wonderful country. And I think that this book, it is called Pathways to Peace, and it's 40 Steps to a Less Violent America. My mother gave it to me, and it's eye opening. It's eye opening. You know, when I was growing up, I was victimized more than one time by crime, by violence. I think I was in the eighth or ninth grade, and I was in a swimming pool area in a locker. Hey, Huga. And I was in the locker area, and I got an ice pick rammed into my leg. And I remember the pain of that. And then I remember trying to figure out why that happened to me. And what did that make me, like maybe eighth, ninth grade, right? Thank you, nobody. I think that while we were all growing up, you know, maybe you were a victim of a crime. Maybe you worked in a field as you had a career that you seen crime day in and day out. Just like right now, you know, every single day I'm seeing young people hooked on fentanyl. And it's really saddening, but it's also like, whoa. Like, you know, we've talked about the fentanyl epidemic here in the United States. I've shown the statistics and things like that, but it's really crazy when you see what it's doing to them. And it's another thing that brings in violent crimes. I I want to talk about like what's been happening. You're naked in that photo. That's great. Whatever. That's crazy. You're unmotivated today. I want to talk about this young woman that's in our center, right? She came in at about 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, just recently, last Saturday night. She was carrying fentanyl into the center. They call them blues. I don't even know enough about it. I'm getting a lot of education about fentanyl from working around these criminals and these people that are drug addicts. So let me say this. So she comes into the center, y'all, and it was really disheartening and saddening to see her going through withdrawals. They give them 3 days. It takes 7 days for their skin to quit crawling. She was drenched in sweat, like just, and then she started talking to me. First day, totally out of it, slept all day. The second day, I was off work. I guess she was, you know, regurgitating, diarrhea, shaking, sweats, all that. And then they get violent. And then when I was talking to her, I said, how did you get to here? She's starting to come out of it, right? I'm hoping today when I go to work that I see a different young woman. So, y'all, her career field, she was a, she wasn't, what's the highest one? Is it RN or LPN? She was the highest one. She was the highest one in the nursing category. I think is it LPN? And when she told me what she did for a living, I was like, whoa, shit. My sister's a pretty girl, and in high school, somebody told her to roll her window down. And when she did, they slapped her in the face just because they're jealous. It's crazy. Crazy. But this young woman, right? I mean, she had a career, a family, a husband, Kids, she has nothing, nothing. And to really be actively involved and watch these people kicking fentanyl, y'all, I'm telling you, you know how I am. It's heart wrenching. Huga, you need a motivational, uplifting, do the dang thing talk this morning. I think many of us do because I think a lot of times people get really down on themselves, down on their situation. Just like me watching these people kicking fentanyl, I can't imagine how they feel. But you know what I got to say is that every single one of us has the opportunity every single day to be better. We have the opportunity to do things that make us happy. People suck. Not all people suck. Wow. Wow, Tanya. Kick your lazy butt, no energy. Okay, well, Huga, stand up, sit down, turn around, and do a 360 and then sit back down. Yeah, we can't categorize all people, you know, but I'll tell you what, Tanya, this job has been an eye opening experience for me because of the things I've reported on in this channel and then the things that I'm actually really seeing. It's like, whoa, wow, sad. But I have to give it to these people, Huga. You want to talk about motivation and self dedication. As many of these people in the center have actually came to the center because they want to, not because they have to, right? And when you see people striving, like struggling to deal with all their emotions, all their addictions, all their felonies, going to court day in and day out to try to do better because they screwed up, because they got hooked on drugs or got sucked in a funnel of mess. It's really hard. It's really hard to watch. You're gonna crank the music. Music is powerful. It is. It is. It is very powerful. You know, I really think that I don't know. I've been so happy that it's almost like uh when you get so excited and so happy about life, and sometimes we're setting ourselves up for failure because we go, okay, when's the storm coming? When is the storm coming? Because we get too positive. I've always been positive, even when I was a fatty, right? No, no, that drug doesn't. You know, and I think that I think that I need to read some to you out of this book. I don't know how these people drag themselves out of drug problems. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, one step at a time. That's how. And so many of them. I had a lady in the gas station the other day say, "You work up there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And she goes, "I want to tell you something." I said, "What's that?" She goes, "You guys do a hell of a job." She goes, "I was there. I went through the intensive program. Then I was a res, right? Which means she was residential unit. And now she's been out on her own and she has 1 year under her belt sobriety and clean off of drugs." And she's like, "You guys changed my life." And when you hear people out in the community telling you these stories, it's like, wow. And the only reason she knew I worked there is because I had a badge around my neck, right? And she's like, "You guys changed my life." And that's why I think that anybody can change their life if they put their best foot forward. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think, Huga, motivation comes from not wanting the same outcome day in and day out, be it if it's in your relationship, your career, whatever it is, right? Is that we have to want the change. We have to want to do it, and we have to strive for it. We have to fight for it. So maybe I should read out of this one to you today, because here's what I'm reading right now. You see that, Huga? I am reading a self motivation workbook. The will to live and not die is all that it takes to reject the things that kill. Man, you got that right. And that's so true. So since Huga's having a down day, let's see where we can get into, Huga, and read you something out of this wonderful book about motivation. How about that? I think that we have thinking errors, and this is one part of the book. When you consistently filter out positive aspects and magnify negative details. Listen closely, Hugo, I'm reading this for you. When you expect disaster and continuously contemplate what if. Heaven's reward fallacy. When you expect all your sacrifice and self denial to pay off as if someone were keeping score and you feel bitter when the expected reward does not materialize, right? Perfectionism. Now, these are thinking errors. When you see yourself as perfect and demand that others be perfect also, thinking in the terms, if I cannot be number one overnight, then there's no use trying. Oh, Huga. Zero state. When you think of yourself as a nothing, a zero, thinking in terms of being worthless. Lying. When you believe the lies and untruths that you tell are okay when you do it, but then expect others to be totally honest with you. Victim. Oh, this has been a big one that's been on my mind the last 6 months is victim mentality. When you think of terms of others being at fault and accept no responsibility for your behavior. Victim stance. It's a really bad thinking error. Shoulding. Necessity, must, can't thinking. Shoulding is focusing on what you can't control. For example, you try to enlighten another's unconsciousness, they should get it. Concentrating on what you think should or ought to be rather than the actual situation you're faced with, that will simply stress you out. What you choose to do and then do will change the world. What you should do will just make you miserable. Okay, this is getting good here. Hold on. This is getting good here. This is getting good. These are all thinking errors, but where is the page? I was reading this really interesting freaking page. Hold on. Oh, that's not the book. I'm looking at the wrong section of the book. I think that so many of us, like, through life have been like beat down. Like, you're just beat down. You can't go to that college because you're not good enough. You can't have that job. And then you get really excited about something. You find this wonderful career or business opportunity. And have you ever noticed that everybody goes, you shouldn't do that. Don't do it. Or you're in a relationship and people are going, they're pointing out every negative thing they can think about instead of being happy and lifting you up. Have you ever noticed that? I think that's a huge thing, and that's a huge thing in our behaviors, in the way that we really actually think, because so many times we're like, well, my brother said I couldn't do it. My mom said that there was no way you'd ever achieve that. Life is not easy or fun. Most of the time, other motivations are recommended. Yeah, and being your own worst critic. Oh my God, Huga. You know, I am so anal sometimes. I call it anal retarded. Is that I'll go back and watch my live stream and say, oh my gosh, I left out this and it was really important, especially when I did my news broadcast. Or I accidentally said this, or I said too many you knows, or they know, or she knows, or he knows, and I'm my own worst freaking critic. What's up, Carol? Good to see you. You know, I think motivation comes so deep within. It's like transforming yourself from I'm overweight, I can't do this, my back hurts, my knee hurts, to let me get the hell up, stand up and do something. We can make excuses all freaking day and night. We We can come up with every reason why I shouldn't get out of this recliner. We can come up with every reason why I shouldn't change my eating habits. We can come up with every damn reason why I'm not going to step out on the edge of the plank and dive into that new relationship. I'm going to hold back because maybe they're holding back from me. Maybe I'm not going to jump out into the new career because what if I don't get it, right? And I had that little doubt with myself just recently when they asked me to apply for this new position. But they're asking me. So what makes me unqualified? Only in my own head, only in my own, I've only been there this long, right? We beat ourselves up before we even give ourselves the opportunity to go forward. And Huga, doing the dang thing, doing it day in and day out, just like this new exercise I've done. Y'all, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it that I actually was able to lift up my own body weight with only my abdominal muscles. That's huge for me. And then I did 4, then I did 8, then I was like, shit, I gotta film this shit. And then I did 8 more. And that's self-motivation. At first, I was doubting myself. I was like, I'm not gonna film this. I might not even be able to do 2. You know, doubt, doubt, doubt. And then when you do the dang thing, right, Huga? When you really do it and you go, whoa, shit, I did it. And then that little piece of doubt leaves your mind. And that's when we see change in our lives. That's when we see that we are unstoppable. We're freaking unstoppable if we would just give ourselves the opportunity to explore and go for it. And that's really the truth. That's the truth. Smash the thumbs up. It's above my head. You might have to have a cute fireman come over and wink. Well, hooga, hooga. You know, I want to say from this book that I'm reading, it says transforming yourself. Another way to replace negative beliefs with positive ones is to question your negative beliefs. Do some research on the subject, do some due diligence, and study the lives of those who hold the opposite view. Transforming yourself, it's not a long process. It happens in an instant, provided that you've been working toward it. Do you in the chat right now have a powerful intention to change? And what do you really want to change? What really in your life do you want to change? That's a big question. I have a simple answer. Every single day, I want to change Kim. I want to change me to understand more. I want to change me to set those boundaries so that people aren't able to stomp on my feelings or my heart. And we have to use the pain and pleasure principles by answering that question. Because what's it going to cost you if you do change? I'm home with my 4 and 2-year-old. Hey, Mark, if I think past today, it can be pretty overwhelming if I just stay in the moment. Yeah. You'll take a rock and roll singer. Y'all are lining up your new future husbands, huh? And you know, I think one big question that this book brought up that I think is really important. Huga, it's been 11 months since you've been live. Your YouTube channel subscribers are waiting for you to be live again, and I'll be your moderator. I'm not doing any New Year's resolutions. You know why? Because I have been doing goals day in and day out. And I think one of the biggest questions that I've asked myself is if I don't make these changes in my life, setting boundaries with people, setting boundaries with YouTubers, setting boundary with YouTube, what's it going to cost me physically, spiritually, mentally, career-wise, and in my relationship? Write that one down, Huga, and think about it. If you don't get motivated, if you don't do the dang thing, what's it going to cost you physically, spiritually, mentally, career-wise, and in your relationships? I know, Huga. I know. I think there's another section I want to read out of this book. And then we're going to get into this other book, The Pathways to Peace, about the 40 ways that we can change violence here in the United States. I think the biggest thing is reward yourself as you progress. And I've been doing that. Like every time I save another $100, right? I'm on this 10K challenge. It ends in January the 18th, I think. You'll all be shocked. Maybe I'll lay it all out and show you the truth. But, do your research. Get all the information you can on the subject that interests you. And then reward yourself as you progress. And this is going to keep your motivational level up. And it doesn't matter how small the milestone is. Like I was doing the happy dance yesterday when I did those full body lifts on that machine. And reward yourself as soon as you achieve it. You lost 40 pounds in 2 years, walking and eating just a little less. I told myself for years I'd never lose that weight. Yeah. And I'm sure you realize, Mark, if you've been watching the channel, how much weight I've lost, but it wasn't about weight. It wasn't about weight. It was just about getting self-motivated and self-directed and making myself, not off the wall, making Kim happy, making myself more spiritually centered than I have been, motivating myself on a daily basis to go to the gym. Oh, you're 24 years old. Any advice? Live life. I'll tell you one thing that a real old lady told me when I was in my 30s. Nobody. She told me that if you love what you do, you never work another day in your life. I think I was 32 when 32 or 33 when I ran across that elderly lady. She was like 90 something, right? And I had like this snap, like realization, like love what you do and never work another day in your life. So that's why it's funny to me when people say, man, you better quit goofing around in the Philippines. You better quit doing this. You better quit doing that. What about work, OTWP? I don't look at it as work. It's life. I love what I do. So I haven't worked since I was 33 years old. And when you really love what you do, it's passion. And that's why I'm still here on YouTube. I have a passion for bringing light, love, and hope to people that are down, that feel like there isn't any. And I think that's God's direction. That's God's direction in my life. I'm getting ready and geared up for my next trip. Go on that trip. Believe in yourself. Take that chance. Just do it. Do the dang thing. I have to pay for my insurance for my truck, but I'm going to be short $100. Hey, Georgie. So what you need to do, nobody, is go through their house right now. Stand on your own 2 feet. Go through your house. Look at things that you have not. You got 10 days. You can do it, man. So go through your house. Look at clothes you haven't worn in a year. Look at shirts, jackets, hats, anything. Get them on Facebook Marketplace. Get them on Macari and take care of yourself. It's time to hustle and put your boots on the ground. That's right, copycat. Nobody can fix our problems but us, right? No one can. It's just like I said about rewarding yourself, right? Really, truly rewarding yourself. If you want to reward yourself because of your little achievement, it can be the smallest thing. So y'all know that I've been on, like, I watch what I eat. I eat a lot more salad, blah, 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 right? So how did I reward myself? I'm going to take you into my clean, nice little kitchen with my clean little cupboards that I just redid, right? Pretty clean, pretty clean. And this is how I rewarded myself. I wanted, and I'm still making healthier choices, but I wanted Fig Newtons. So instead of going to the chocolate chip cookies or the shitty cookies, I rewarded myself by getting Fig Newtons. And some people are probably like, that's not much of a reward. But it is. It is. I also clean my whole kitchen. I also clean my whole kitchen. I got my little lunchbox ready. See, I clean my kitchen, and I keep my kitchen sink. But see this, y'all? I can't get this shit out. Anybody have an idea? I bleached it. It drives me crazy. This shit right here, and I don't know what it is. Anybody got a good idea for getting some bullshit out of a sink? Help, Hooga, Copycat, Carol. Anybody other than bleach? Maybe you'll get a job at the casino. I could see you working there. But I think the big fig Newton. But the thing is I've been rewarding myself little tiny things. But the biggest reward that I've done for myself, honestly, soft scrub. I don't have that. I'll try it. Anybody else? The biggest thing I've done for myself is give myself my own time. Baking soda and vinegar. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That'll work. That'll work. There we go. Preppers come together to help OTWP clean my sink because I can't stand it. I'm going to try them. I want to say, folks, that I don't know, George. It possibly is hard water. I don't drink the tap water. I only use it for showers and stuff like that. Baking soda vinegar can do wonders, and it can. I should have known that one, but I don't know if I have baking soda. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'll have to look. I don't work. I'm a hybrid shift today, so I don't work till noon. I want to say that this channel, y'all mean a lot to me. If you would do me one favor today, if you're a channel creator, if you would share my channel out, I would really appreciate it. I want to say that about being motivated, a few things is keep your target in sight. Keep it in sight. Make an effort to remember every single day, Huga, and everyone else that's listening, that keep that target, make that effort to keep that target in sight. Do the dang thing every single day and use every single day wisely, right? Take action no matter how small to make your dreams a reality. And this weekend, I have a great weekend coming up. One, I get to watch my great niece in the Nutcracker. Two, I'm going to my first professional football game ever because I've always been a basketball fan. No more calcium chloride, and that's the truth too. And that's been a big, huge thing with me. Copycat is really watching what I eat, even if it says it's organic or whatever. It's up to us to do our due diligence of what's in the food, what we're consuming in the food, how much we intake, and if you're going to go out for that pizza like I did last night, how much are you going to eat? We overeat because we use food as an emotional thing instead of what it's really for, which is energy. And I think that's huge. And I have to get off here shortly because I have an emergency meeting this morning. I have an emergency meeting at work this morning. We had a complete breach of a system at work, and we have to come up with a way to resolve it immediately. So at least I don't have to get dressed and go there because I'm going to the gym. But a breach is a breach, and so we have to have an emergency meeting. I was talking about this Pathways to Peace book. If you've never read it, it is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to spend the last few minutes talking about violence, and I'm just going to read an excerpt out of the book. I won't. Who's muted? I'm not muted. I want you guys to run a few scenarios through your head. It's really good. Because I am in and around a lot of alcoholics and drug addicts and felons, right? My mother's been handing me down some books that she had because, as y'all know, my mom, when she was working, was in charge of a domestic violence center for over 30 years. She actually helped start it in the tri state area. So she gave me this wonderful book. But I want you to think about this. We're going to run some scenarios, and I want you all to think about this really. Like, the youth suicide rate is huge, it has quadrupled over the last 30 years, with males bearing most of the increase. So more guys are committing suicide than girls. Then, on top of it, in view of our cultural encoding, it is easy to understand why a teenage girl attempting suicide may take 5 aspirin, leave her bottle on the table, and call 3 of her friends, while a male in a similar state may simply take the family gun and do the dang thing. How would you respond to the following situations? Your 8-year-old wants a sip of champagne at a birthday celebration. Your 14-year-old tells you a friend's parent smokes dope. You smell alcohol on your 15-year-old child's daughter's breath when she returns from a party. You find an empty beer can in the back of your teenager's car. You find an empty pill bottle under their bed. Are you, as a parent, as an adult, concerned about your child, your grandchild, your nieces, nephews' use of alcohol or other drugs? Are you worried that people under the influence of these substances will act abusively towards your kid? If so, you can put your fears to rest by understanding your child, knowing the people your child is with, and having a new sense of their behavioral patterns. Violence causing injury or death is linked to the illegal drug trade in 2 ways: through the business of dealing drugs and through the economic needs of addicts. Violence is infrequently a direct result of buying or selling drugs, as is commonly portrayed in media. The reality is that homicide accounts for less than 10% of homicides in most areas, and slightly higher percentage in a few larger urban areas. Most of these casualties are attributed to rival drugsters who know each other. Only occasionally do homicides occur during the course of a burglary to obtain money for illegal substances. Even in the drug trade, violence is rarely stranger directed. It's mostly directed toward the people that are there. Drug-related violence, like violence in general, arises largely between people who know each other. That's the insert I want you to take today from this wonderful book called Pathways to Peace, 40 Steps to a Less Violent America, written by Victor Lacerva, MD. Thank you. Thank you, nobody. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chat. I want you all to know that violence is increasing and increasing, and we all know this and see it. But the most important thing that we can do is have that communication with our kids, our grandkids, our nieces, and our nephews. And you're right. Kids do want the time and the attention more than gifts. They definitely do. It's so true. I hope that every single freaking one of you has an absolutely awesome day. I hope that you keep on doing the legwork. If you missed the short from yesterday, go watch some of my shorts. It was a great accomplishment for myself, and I hope that you're enjoying this fitness journey with me, because it seems like it's just getting bigger and bigger, and my stomach's getting smaller and smaller, which is a good damn thing, right? It's a good damn thing. It is. Oh, let's take it out with a little booty shaking happiness this morning from my little casa here. There we go. It's always good to have a smile. Always good to have a smile. I got my first Christmas card. Then I got a really nice um, thank you card from my work with some money. I like the way they say thank you. They give you money, they give you gift cards. They bought my Thanksgiving dinner. I just got a nice Christmas bonus. Whoa. One more. Let's see if we can get him to spin. I don't know if he's working or not working or what. Hold on. Um. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's still here, but he's dead. Everyone, I hope you have a fantastic day. Shake it up. Shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it going on here. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, I don't have a P.O. box. I don't have a P.O. box. And Christmas is right around the corner. Can I better go get a call. I better go get a P.O. box because George has asked me, Copycat's asked me, now Carol's asking me. People do still love me on YouTube. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. I hope. I'll go get a P.O. box. I will. Just because y'all are asking me so nicely. Thank you for the super chats. You got a new one. If you have a new address, send it to me. I have no one's. Well, I don't even want to go there. I'll go to the bank too. Thank you, nobody. Thank you for the super chat, for real. Thank you. I appreciate it. Drop your links, y'all. Let's connect with each other. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Preeby USMC. Drop the links in the chat right now. I'm going to take it out with kind of how else can we torment you? I know, George. Okay, I will. Tomorrow I work 6 to 2. I will get a P.O. box by Saturday. I'll post it. I will post the damn thing. I will post the P.O. box address on the community page. We will be having a live stream, I think, Saturday afternoon, and we'll get it done. Thank you, nobody. Thank you, thank you, nobody. Thank you. I got you, man. I got you. Let's listen to it. I was let's see if I like this song. We're gonna listen to it together. Then I gotta get out of here. I guess I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm stuck on you. 10, this goes out to you. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm in love with a beautiful woman. She started doing a Shane clothes review on an last song, last call. Purple hugs, do the dang thing. Don't give up, don't give in. Ever. Much love. Peace, love, light, and hope. See y'all. I gotta go to a meeting. Bye.